Hey, Steve Pond.
Hey Sharon, how are you?
I'm great. So it's been a very busy weekend. You've been at the Producers Guild Awards and the Screen Actors Guild Awards. And tell us the state of affairs. It's Monday.
Yeah, the state of affairs is very good news for Argo. I mean, it won on Saturday night at the Producers Guild, where I think a lot of people thought it would. It's a movie about Hollywood producers helping to get guys out
True
of
enough.
Iran.
Heroes.
But it was not expected to win on Sunday night at the Screen Actors Guild, where it won the Ensemble Award.
Mhm.
So that puts it in a very good position. I mean, it's clearly at this point the front runner. Nothing else has the momentum that Argo had, but to me, hanging over its head the whole time is the fact that it didn't get nominated for Best Director,
hmm
and so it doesn't feel like as strong a front runner as it might under other circumstances.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, Silver Linings really seemed to be going hard after that SAG Ensemble Award. What went wrong there, do you think? Because I don't think, my impression is that Argo wasn't really trying that hard to win that award.
Well, I don't think Argo thought it was going to win that award. I mean, I think most people thought that award was either Silver Linings or maybe Les Mis.
Les Mis, right.
Those two movies really needed that, especially for Silver Linings to take a step and establish itself as the alternative. It needed that SAG award. It had more individual acting nominations than Argo did. It had three. Argo only had one. I don't know. There's just something. Argo seems to be the movie that people like, and it's silly to reduce it to that, but I think that's what it's coming down to this year.
So are you saying that I mean, you said it's not that strong a front runner in the sense that it doesn't have a Best Director nomination. Who would you then say are like right behind it?
Well, there's a long time. I mean, voters can't even start voting for the Oscars until a week from Friday.
Right.
So there's a long time. Lincoln can still establish itself. Silver Linings could conceivably come in there. Even Zero Dark 30 could get back into the race. It's tricky because if you look at what else has won the SAG Ensemble Award and the Producers Guild, there have been like 8 movies that have won both of those. 6 of them have gone on to win the Oscar for Best Picture. But the 2 that didn't were Apollo 13 and Little Miss Sunshine, and those were the 2 where the one thing they have in common with Argo is they didn't have a Best Director nomination.
So it's not a lock by any means.
So it's not a lock. But, if I was Ben Affleck, I'd be feeling pretty good this morning.
Well, if you're Ben Affleck, you're feeling pretty good for a lot of reasons, actually. And if you're Warner Brothers, you're feeling even better because they chose this morning. It was very clever.
That's very interesting because, Warner Brothers has their shot at winning their first Best Picture since The Departed. And there's a big shakeup this morning. It's,
Right. So
Tsujihara is the new guy. So tell me, what does that mean?
yeah, I mean, I think that the timing was really smart on Warner Brothers' part. I don't know if they were holding off on making this announcement, but I don't think so because I just spoke to Kevin Tsujihara, who told me that he found out that he had gotten the top job after more than a year of waiting in this excruciating bake-off between himself and Bruce Rosenblum, who runs television at Warner Brothers, and Jeff Robinov, who runs the movie studio, that he found out at the end of last week before the PGA Awards and the SAG Awards. So it just turned out to be really good timing for Time Warner CEO Jeff Bewkes to announce that Kevin Tsujihara was going to be the CEO of the studio. And that gives Kevin just this very strong platform to step forward on and say, which he did just now in an interview with me, talk about maintaining the culture of the studio. And Warner Brothers does have a very unique corporate culture and a very strong one, and also maintaining the quality of the movies. And he, called out by name Clint Eastwood and Christopher Nolan from Batman and Inception and Ben Affleck. And of course he would do that because they really have quite a lot to be proud of at this particular moment. So it's a nice day for Warner Brothers too, I got to say.
Yeah, well, I look forward to reading your interview.
Great. Okay, well, we'll check in again next week. Is there anything coming up that we should be looking at, or is there going to be a lot of campaigning?
Well, there's the Directors Guild this weekend. So, if Ben Affleck wins that, then it'll really start looking like he's in a good position. But, who knows?
It'll be interesting. Okay, great. Nice talking to you, Steve.
Okay, good talking to you, Sharon.